Some of our products allow you to use disks via LAN thanks to integrated NetDisk technology. Unlike with SMB or FTP connections, NetDisk allows us to access the entire disk, including all file system and partition information. It enables, for example, direct disk-to-disk copies between different PCs or laptops without having to remove any of the disks first. Here we will show you a step-by-step on how to share a disk on another PC in the LAN and mount it for use as a target of a SmartCopy. The process can also be applied to other apps and in other products, for example in HDShredder. We will start by opening the required app as usual, in this case SmartCopy. Since we will copy from this PC, the main PC, to a remote disk as the target, we can go ahead and choose the source from the drop-down as usual. The source is a normal Windows installation with the usual partitions and an additional data partition. As the target disk of the remote PC has not yet been shared, only the local disks are visible in the target selection. Next, we will start the bootable variant of the software on the PC containing the target disk, called the remote PC. Using the USB token can be a convenient way to do so. Start the NetDisk server app. The local disks of the remote PC are listed here. Choose the respective disk to share it in the LAN, either in read-only mode or in read-write mode. In this scenario, we want to use the disk as a target, so we will share it in read-write mode. If you need to share multiple disks from different PCs, for example to use them in the Enterprise Edition, simply repeat this process on the other PCs. You can then reconnect the USB token to the main PC. Back on the main PC, the shared disks will become visible in the Network Storage applet. You can now simply click on the disk in order to mount it. You will see that it is successfully mounted when the circle to the right of the disk turns solid white. This also works for multiple disks, for example when using the Enterprise Edition. Back to the SmartCopy app, where our shared and mounted disk is now visible and can be selected as a target. You can tell by the @ and square brackets next to their name. Disks that are shared via LAN have their names prefixed with an @ and square brackets so you can tell them apart from local disks. If needed, choose your options as usual and then start the copying process. The process is the same as for a local copy, though transfer speed may vary depending on your LAN and its current workload.
A few moments later.
Once the copy is finished, the result dialog will appear, including the usual options such as the possibility to save a report. Once the mounted disk is no longer needed, make sure to unmount it in the Network Storage applet. Back on the remote PC, we can now close the NetDisk app. If any of the shared disks have yet to be unmounted, the app will automatically wait for all disks to be unmounted before closing. Now the disk in the remote PC holds the copy of the source disk and can be used further as needed.